It's only Monday, folks, but I'm already exhausted because Seth Rogen dumped James Franco. Logan Paul's former BFF, Majlak, got exposed by his ex-girlfriend, Lana Rhodes. James Charles returned to the internet, and the H3 podcast is getting sued again. By the way, folks, I was recently grabbing a soda at a bodega, and I realized it has some really weird flavors like grudge, contempt, spite, malice, hate, and fed up. And I was happy because I was kind of in a fed up kind of mood. Irrelevant news. Joshua Bassett recently shared his thoughts on Harry Styles.
He's just cool. Like, he's cool. Who doesn't think Harry Styles is cool? Also, he's hot, you know? He's very charming, too. Lots of things. I guess this is my, this is also my coming out video.
If this love triangle gets any bigger, pretty soon they're gonna have to solve this in an octagon. Yes, folks, I have geometry jokes. And in other news, Jocelyn Hernandez had quite a moment on her reality show.
Now, all of a sudden, you want to leave because in one of the closest partners of the network. Who you coughing at? Who you coughing at?
Thank goodness that Jocelyn is on top of those COVID coughs, making sure that nobody is sick on her set and immediately approaching them and getting within inches of their face so that she can hopefully get the COVID.
When I was talking, she started coughing. Like I'm some type of fucking germ. I know you ain't coughing at me, ho.
That is true, folks. Coughing in someone's direction nowadays is literally a biological crime. People have to be careful.
You can't be coughing at me, disrespectful ass bitch. Homeless asshole.
Shout out to Jocelyn for punching down and somebody for literally being homeless. It's the classiest insult that anybody can think of.
Who you coughing at? Who you coughing at? I know you ain't coughing at me.
Like, damn, is that serious right now?
I know you ain't coughing at me.
Note to self, never cough when Jocelyn's talking to you.
Very few people seem to understand that outside of the COVID factor, coughing or even breathing in someone's direction is one of the most disrespectful things a human being can do, and in some countries it is actually punishable by death. And that country is formerly known as Cuckoo Land.
You think I'm trying to play with? You can cough at me when I'm telling you something?
I was choking on water.
Okay. You better be choking on water.
That's right, folks, because if she isn't choking on water, Jocelyn will make sure that she puts her in a headlock and makes her tap out. And that's just for coughing. I haven't seen what Jocelyn did to the last person who blinked in her direction. She literally forced the blinker to be in a David Dobrik stunt. Word around town is that the blinker never made it. And speaking of making it, I wonder how Gwyneth Paltrow made it through the pandemic.
Gwyneth Paltrow broke down and ate bread during quarantine. What was your lowest point?
Folks, I feel so incredibly awful for Gwyneth. Having to eat bread is one of the worst things any human being can do. Those disgusting little orbs that sound really good on a sandwich or literally anything else, but are literally the plague.
This is so effed up. Nobody should ever have to go through this.
I have to agree, folks. Gwyneth is a warrior for making it through the pandemic like that.
During quarantine, I ate 3. This smells like my vajayjay candles.
Better than eating bread, if you ask me.
I've been hitting Gwyneth's low point every day, it seems.
Folks, I shamefully have to confess that I, too, have sadly been hitting Gwyneth's low point literally every single day of this quarantine. And in other news, what's going on with Leo DiCaprio?
Leonardo DiCaprio, unrecognizable in first photos of new Scorsese film.
Wow, that is so true, folks. I don't even see Leo DiCaprio in this picture. I feel like I need a new pair of glasses.
I've put together a guide for anyone who might still be confused.
Wait, I see Leo right there with the yellow shirt, but who's the guy with the middle part? I don't recognize him. People, I need help.
This is him.
Are you sure? Because, you know, it doesn't really look like him, even though it does. I mean, are we supposed to believe that that is actually Leo DiCaprio? Come on.
He's more recognizable in this role than he is in real life.
Yeah, see, folks, it wasn't the real Leo DiCaprio. It was just some phony stand-in. And in other news, Seth Rogen dumped James Franco.
Seth Rogen says he has no plans to work with James Franco again.
Oh, don't worry, folks. This is most likely just one big elaborate prank. They're gonna come out with a movie next week or something and say, hey, we were just joking around. We got you. Ha ha.
What I can say is that I despise A and H, and I would never cover or conceal the actions of someone doing it, or knowingly put someone in a situation where they would be around someone like that, Rogen said when asked about actress Charlene Yee's claims that he was Franco's enabler.
Wow. It's actually kind of weird to see somebody hold their friends accountable in this town. And speaking of friends dumping friends, Logan Paul dumped Mike Blackjack.
Mike said to me that you're the reason why Logan fired him.
He's a good kid.
Yeah.
I just think he got caught up in the situation and his mouth got him in trouble.
Oh, did he really get fired? Breaking the news!
This is one of the advantages of being a YouTuber, folks. You'll find out that you lost your job from your 2 friends joking about it in a YouTube video.
I don't know if he's like fully fired or they're parting ways. Don't I thought you talked to him, bro. I didn't get fired. The word fired is you said it, not me.
What we are witnessing is a grown man failing at trying to put an elephant-sized genie back in a pea-sized bottle. Anyway, folks, this wasn't the only time that Mike Blackjack got exposed, because his ex-girlfriend, Lana Rhoades, recently shared text messages and an entire list of pros and cons that Mike did as to why he didn't want to date her, and one thing stood out.
Good for my business/networking.
Remember, folks, the best way to have a deep personal connection with someone is to make it about business. In fact, the marital statistics say that marriages that are based on business last longer than marriages that don't exist. And in other news, Nikki Felipes and her husband Dan's decision to put down their dog Bowser has attracted a lot of attention now from mainstream media, who recently found this out.
The Humane Society of the United States told Today that the nationwide organization had no involvement with this case. When contacted by Today, the Nashville Humane Association said they had no records of Dan and Nikki Felipes and were not aware of any conversations about the euthanizing of Bowser.
Oh, come on, folks. There's probably some kind of clerical error, or maybe the Felipes didn't even mention that they talked to the Humane Society in their video.
The Felipes did not specify in the video which animal shelter they had contacted with, beyond saying the Humane Society, and they did not respond to requests for comment.
This is starting to feel like a hit piece, folks. I do not believe that the Felipes would actually do something like this. It's the mainstream media slandering YouTubers again.
And we contacted the Humane Society, and we had a long discussion with someone over there, and basically she made it clear to us that rehoming Bowser was not an option because he had been with us from birth, basically.
I'm sure there's a perfectly good explanation for that, folks, and all it would take is an entire village lying for it to be moderately believable. And in other news, Jason Nash returned to YouTube and was very well received.
Surprised he's uploading after what happened. Yikes.
Hey, come on, give Jason a break. He just doesn't feel like talking about it right now. Give him a couple of years so that everybody can forget about it, and then he can pretend like nothing happened.
Why have you blocked comments saying Trisha or frenemies, loser?
Excuse me, nobody has a right to call Jason a loser. Only Daddy Dobrik. Better get that right.
The effing ew. The effing audacity. He's disgusting for taking zero accountability. Piece of trash P-word on the internet. Stop tricking people to kiss you, you old F. Take accountability, you stupid goat. Read the room. Tone deaf AF. You are part of many people's A's for the vlog.
Hold on, Trisha. How dare we demand accountability from a person who participated in 2 kissing pranks without the consent of the person who was a part of it? It is unbelievable that we are still talking about this situation like this when we all know that all Seth had to do was to stop kissing Jason. And I'm happy to say that I've arrived at this conclusion because my brain has atrophied to the size of a peanut. And in other news, James Charles Jr. has returned to the internet.
Hello everybody, James here. I hope you guys are all having a beautiful day, afternoon, night, wherever you are in the world. I hope you're doing well as well. I really miss you guys. Don't worry, this is not my return to social media.
Don't worry, folks. We are not watching a ghost. This is a temporary apparition of James Charles wearing a gray sweater as a YouTuber would in an apology video.
But unfortunately, I am logging in today because I feel as though I am being cornered and have to make yet another public statement.
Uh-oh, who's coming after my favorite burger chain / makeup line?
I've been quiet online, but things behind the scenes have not been so quiet. There's a lot going on, and I currently feel as though the situation that I was in is being taken advantage of, and I feel as though I'm being blackmailed.
Who in their right minds would actually try to blackmail James Charles Jr.? Don't they know who they're messing with? Seriously, their Western bacon cheeseburger is amazing at 4 in the morning.
For those who are not aware, for the last 2 years now, I've been dealing with an ongoing lawsuit from one of my previous employees. This is something that I have never spoken about, I've never mentioned, because I wanted to keep it private out of respect for her, and the fact that it's literally an ongoing litigation.
James, ixnay on the court case, yay, because they might use this against you.
But she's now speaking about it, which is just perfect time considering everything else that's going on.
Folks, if she's speaking about it, then it is a fair game. It might as well just go and put out the entire court case for the world to see and cross your fingers that you win.
Settling is no longer an option that's on the table, and I'm going to tell you why. This past week, I was reached out to for comment about a news article that is coming soon, and I learned that she is talking to the press about this lawsuit and what it was like to work for me as an employee.
Oh, folks, this is nothing. James can't handle the bad press. He loves the tea. He loves the drama. He loves to get down and dirty on the internet. That's why he's doing this.
However, she's adding a ton of absolutely ridiculous, absurd, untrue, defamatory, just the the craziest claims you could ever imagine. And in my opinion, it's an attempt to pressure me into making a much, much higher settlement offer.
You gotta wonder if getting ahead of the story in the court of public opinion works in the actual court.
These claims range everything from I was so lazy, she had to force me to get out of my bed and brush my teeth, and without her I would have never made a single video or a single dollar, but also things much more serious and disgusting, such as that I used to say the around her all the time.
Well, as the saying goes, things get worse before they get better. They just apparently have to get a whole lot worser before they start getting better for James.
This is just perfect, convenient timing as well, considering this past weekend, my old Twitter account, which I have not accessed since 2016, and only has one tweet, I guess was hacked last year, and the hacker publicly tweeted somebody the N-word, and people actually thought that it was me.
Oh, well, thank goodness, folks. And here I was thinking that it was actually James in that account. Thank goodness that he reassured us that it's not him while his eyes were going all shifty all over the place.
Sorry, I'm at a loss for words. This is just disgusting. I know that my lawyer has been like a topic of conversation, a meme, a part of my internet persona for a while now.
Oh, so James is just memeing in his latest statement on Twitter where he literally threatened the alleged victims with a lawsuit. That is a brand new way to try to silence people.
There has been 2 years of timed opportunity to speak about any of this stuff. But now it's happening, and now we're going to the press, and now we're doing this back and forth. It feels so wrong to me.
And it is wrong, folks, and I'm thankful that James is addressing this instead of the countless other allegations of people who have said that they've had inappropriate contact with him, because that stuff is much less serious.
And I don't want this article to come out and just blindside people, because it is going to come out, and when it does, I know that it's going to be bad, and I totally understand that people are going to think whatever they want to, regardless of what I say, regardless of what receipts, screenshots, legal documents that I pull, and that's okay.
How dare people have the freedom to think something else other than what James is telling them? I am disgusted by humanity.
I am sorry to my followers.
Everybody else can go straight to hell, baby.
All I can hope and pray is that one day justice is served and you guys are able to see me for who I really am and this situation for what it really is.
Breaking news, folks. James Charles has been playing a character this entire time. This news is brought to you by the cat in the Minecraft house.
Absolutely not. Story coming soon.
Oh, hold on, folks. So that's why James was trying to get ahead of the story. It's an article by Insider. He's scared of the David Dobrik effect. I see a second tearful apology in the horizon.
Literally cannot believe this. Okay, well, yeah, you paid your creative director $72,000 after a raise. We'll start there since you're the one putting it out. More soon. Blackmail is a criminal allegation and a really crazy and stupid one to make.
Do we really have to take everything that James Charles says seriously? He is clearly just memeing the blackmail part, just like he memes all the lawyer stuff. And speaking of lawyers, it appears Triller has refiled their lawsuit against the H3 podcast, which was initially thrown out by a judge because Triller appears to have a money-burning fetish. Now, palate cleanser. Anyway, defenders, make sure you like and subscribe for more videos like this. If you like, will be another pile of cash that Triller burns unnecessarily. Tell me in the comment down below what do you think I want to know. Check out these videos right here. They're good too. Make sure you still wash your hands and touching your face and stay away from stupid people. Have an amazing day, defenders. I love all of you. Peace.